China's state-run Global Times poked fun at both sides of the political spectrum here in the United States as they warned that the raid on President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago could incite a J6-styled riot here in America. Good evening, family. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Saturday, August the 13th, 2022, and the time is 4:11 p.m. It is my great pleasure and joy to bring to you today breaking news. Listen, this is fascinating. The CCP owned and operated Global Times is distancing themselves from the Democratic Party. In fact, they have said that they believe it is the Democrats who inspired the FBI to raid President Donald Trump's home. Now, although they are warning both sides, both the Dems and the Republicans, they're saying it's not looking good for the Democrats. They're saying that they are facing dim election prospects for 2024. They're saying that Biden has not addressed any economic issues over here, that in fact he's committing atrocities that are causing us to have severe economic crises after crises. They're saying that he commits blunder after blunder, that he has done so many things in terms of putting sanctions against our international community that all eyes across the globe are now on America. They said that the international community is upset and they're wondering what in the world is going on with that three-letter organization that unlawfully, according to them, raided President Trump's home. They're also saying it's just not looking good for the Dems. They said they had a problem with Nancy Pelosi going over to Taiwan, even though she was warned not to go while they were participating in military drills. As a matter of fact, let me quote for you something out of the article that one of the writers wrote, or a political expert from China said. He said the United States fighter jet that escorted Pelosi's plane to Taiwan is an invasion, and that this invasion could cause the Taiwanese military to be very upset. And this is a quote from him. He said if she goes over there, the Chinese military, the People's Liberation Party, should shoot her down. Not my words, their words. Now, they're not happy right now about what's going on with the Democratic Party. As a matter of fact, they're the ones who brought up the fact that Hunter Biden's laptop is currently under investigation, and that makes it so that it doesn't look good for him and Papi Biden, because what it looks like, according to them and according to some of our other resources and sources, it looks like the Biden crime family has had many operations operating in secrecy in the Ukraine and in Taiwan. Now, according to reports, things that were going on in Ukraine led to Putin invading there to go in there and liberate his people. Why? Because in the Ukraine, we have reports that there were trafficking of children, human, drugs, money laundering, all type of smuggling going on there. And it just doesn't look good for the deep state, for the Bidens, or for the Dems, and some of the Republicans. As a matter of fact, some insinuate that the same type of nefarious activity is actually what's going on over in Taiwan. Nevertheless, you have people saying, just like this particular gentleman, Xi Jinping, suggesting, well, he's a former editor of this particular Global Times newspaper, that had she gone over there, which she did, they needed to take military action and shoot her down. So the CCP looks like they're defecting from the Democratic Party. It looks like they're doing exactly what Andrew Cuomo, former governor of New York, did. You all recall when I reported the former governor of New York, Andy Cuomo, who does not like President Trump, had the audacity, the kahunas, to come forward and say he demands answers for why the FBI raided President Trump's home. He said he did not like it, and that furthermore, he was distancing himself from the Democratic Party. Can you believe that? Are the Dems turning on each other? Has the CCP decided to defect from supporting the Dems? Because you know we call the Democrats right now the CCP, formerly known as the Democratic Party, because they have gone far to the left. Like even people we know and support who are Democrats, they don't even know who these people have become. Nevertheless, they are having an issue with what's going on in America. We already know that the United States dollar has lost its value because country after country have left. The first to leave was Russia, but this led to the entire BRICS union leaving the United States dollar and creating their own basket of currencies backed by gold and silver. Who are the BRICS nations? Very important nations with high populations. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They've all left the United States dollar. And as you all know, from listening to Andy Schectman, or Mr. Andy Schectman, who is the president of one of the largest precious metals company with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and not one complaint, Mr. Schectman taught us or informed us or reminded us what made the United States dollar the reserve currency. What made it the reserve currency, being the currency that everybody agreed upon to use and trade internationally, is that the United States made an agreement with Saudi Arabia. They said, listen, Saudi Arabia, you supply us oil, we'll protect you, and will make sure by force that every nation uses the United States dollar as their currency for trade. Well, when Saudi Arabia made this major announcement that they were leaving the USD, that was huge because then they said they were applying to become a part of BRICS, and now BRICS would be called Sao BRICS. On the heels of that, though, what happened was Saudi Arabia got the kahunas and the nerve and the strength to leave. Other nations joined the BRICS nations, or they applied. Now, when they announce that they're applying to join, that means it's already done. By the time they tell us things, family, it's already being done. For example, I made an announcement that Putin had said that Russia was returning to gold. And when I was reading that article that came out the other day, I said, this sounds familiar. So I looked into my files and I saw, I had reported on that in 2018. That same announcement, that same article came out in 2018. Then it was reported again in 2019. Then the same article was put forward on February 2021. And then recently, again, when they make announcements, family, it's something that they've already done. So what this means is when all these nations leave the United States dollar, is that it's lost its value. It's that the global currency reset is occurring. The global currency reset is different from the global reset, or the Great Reset was something that the nefarious people had said they were going to do to make us all return to one currency that they control and that they would monitor. That Great Reset is not the global currency reset based on a quantum financial system based on silver, gold, and precious metals. We're experiencing a global currency reset. A global currency reset is when you leave an old system, you dismantle it, and then you go to a system that everybody agrees upon. Based on Project Sandman, we know that over 100 countries, they're telling us now 209 plus countries agreed to return to the gold standard and to return to global world peace. So this is what we see happening before our eyes. Family, all of the nations, all the trading, exporting nations have rejected the United States dollar, every last one of them. They're now trading either by a basket of currencies backed by silver and gold, or they're trading with silver and gold. The only nation or countries that are trading the USD now is the United States or Northern America, parts of Canada, and Mexico. That, my darlings, is the USMCA that President Trump pushed forward on when he was, still at the forefront. Now, we know he's still the president and he's working behind the scenes, but these nations that are now trading with the United States dollar. Everybody else has given up on the dollar. So this is really good news for you and me, even though it looks like it could be bad news. But remember, we look for opportunities. This is a great opportunity to invest in precious metals. So let me pause here. You can go to your local precious metals company by looking up local precious metals companies, coin shops in your city, or numismatics, and you can buy there because they'll probably have some low premium prices, although across the board, silver is somewhere between $25 and $30 an ounce. Gold will be between $1,700 and $1,800 an ounce. But you have to account for the price that they put above that, which is a cost to us for doing business with these dealers. So there'll be a little premium on top of that, and some states will require a little tax on top of that. So you might come out a little with a little less money if you shop locally. However, if you are not able to do that, or they don't have enough precious metals in their stock, then please consider going to our friend Andy Sheckman, the president of Miles Franklin, and buy you some silver and gold, because he has told us already that billionaires are getting into the market. He reported that there was one particular billionaire who bought a $50 million worth of silver and gold. Now, do that, and do it for your girl, Dr. Kia Pruitt, and let him know that I referred you. Yes, it will help me as I'm helping you, and we're helping all of our family. Why? Because the real value, if you take the United States debt clock, go into your phone, download it onto your phone or your computer, you will see that the real value of silver is thousands of dollars. The last time I checked, it was $3,000 an ounce, the real value. So if it's now saying you're buying it for $30 an ounce, but it's the real value is $3,000 an ounce, and it will increase, then you know that the real value is more than what they're saying, and you know that you'll get a great return on your investment. And gold, the real value last time I checked, was $14,000 an ounce, although you're only paying $1,700. And if you cannot afford that, it's not in my budget, then get you some gold Aurum notes. AURUM, that is 24 karat gold that's pressed on a bill. And yes, it's real gold. And yes, you can trade, because we already have about 13 states in America that have legalized or made lawful trading in gold and silver. Silver and gold is considered legal tender legally or lawfully in 13 states. Now, I believe it's all states, but on the books it says 13 states, because you and I know that according to the Constitution, a dollar is defined as a fixed weight in silver. And we know that according to House Resolution 5404, which was pushed forward under President Trump's administration, the dollar will be defined as a fixed weight in gold. So get you some precious metals now. Now, the reason why it looks like precious metals prices have been suppressed, why it looks like metals are not worth anything, is because of spoofing. Spoofing is what inside traders do, what people from JP Morgan has done. Remember, they paid $920 million in fines as an admission that they've been spoofing the prices. It's what they do. It's how they suppress the prices to make it look like there's no value to it. They run programs, or they'll just put it up online to make it look like it has no value. But darlings, as the dollar decreases in value, this is a law, or this is like a universal law, common knowledge. As the dollar decreases in value, precious metals increase in value. So we know the dollar is decreasing in value because all the money printing, quantitative easing, people are dropping the USD. All of the exporting countries have dropped it. So we know that the real value of gold and silver is now increased. Now, keep in mind that breaking news is that JP Morgan has had 3 inside traders, 3 spoofers arrested and convicted recently after how many days? 8 days of deliberation. They have been convicted. Will they appeal? More than likely, but we got a conviction. We already know about the inside trader, the U.S. congressman and banker who was arrested as a part of a, what do they call it? A very exciting investigation because sealed indictments are being unsealed. So spoofing is now coming to the forefront. People know about it and people are being arrested and convicted for it. That means that as people make an admission, as they're being convicted, as they're being investigated and arrested, that means that soon the suppression will come off and gold and silver will explode. It's happening. Family, listen, we already have heard reports that the housing market is dropping. Just in South Florida alone, the prices are coming down by 35%. In all major cities all across the America, the houses are being dumped back onto the market because after the pandemic, what we saw happening was we saw investors buy up the houses. Oh, they're so cruel and wicked. Buy up the houses so that we little people couldn't, pay the prices that there were. And they jacked up the prices and they forced people who needed a house to then pay them exorbitant rent. Okay, they might have done a little tweaking, a little remodeling here and there, but then they jacked up the prices, right? And then people from other countries or rich people can come and make cash offers, or us little people can fight over the market. And so it became a seller's market. Well, what happened? You had an interruption in the supply chain, right? You had high inflation, and now the builders and contractors can't even afford to build houses. So they're dumping the houses right back on the market. Places like Open Door, Zillow, they were the ones who were buying up these houses. It wasn't little people like you and me. It was the investors, okay? But now they're dumping them back into the market. This is what I'm saying. This is the greatest time in history. Family, this is a time, if you're saving your money, you will be able to buy the houses because it will be a buyer's market again. Now, maybe not right now, this minute, but wait 6 months, a year, 2, 3 years. Oh, the prices will come down. Plus, you must account. I'm excited. Y'all know me. You must account for the gold standard. When you account for the gold standard, you have increased buying power. So a house that might cost let's say $100,000, even that's not a lot. But now $100,000, once we return to the gold standard, it could be as low as $10,000 or even lower because we're going back to pre-1971 prices. And I think it's going to be even way before that. So this is the good news that's going on. The Democratic Party, but not just them, even the Republicans. I mean, just the whole deep state, they're looking so bad. But the CCP is saying, we believe it's the Dems that's behind this. They're not looking good. We don't support them any longer. With Hunter Biden's laptop coming forward under investigation, Nancy Pelosi doing her thing. And what they didn't mention, which I reported the other day, Nancy's husband, Paul, was arrested recently for alleged participation in that P word that deals with harming and sexualizing and abusing our children. So you know that the international community knows about all this that's going on, and they are not happy. They are defecting, and they are warning people that this isn't looking good. Now, all these 3-letter organizations that have been behind, bothering Trump, they've been bothering all of us. Talking about these 3-letter organizations, let's talk about the IRS, and then we'll talk about the raid on Trump's home. Have you all heard that there's a job description, a new job description out now that was put forth by the IRS, hiring 87,000 new IRS agents, and they're not auditors now. They're called criminal investigators. And these criminal investigators are being told that one of their job descriptions is that they must be ready to shoot and kill Americans. Can you believe what's going on under number 46? I just want to read this to you because I think this is a little absurd, but still keep in mind that all this has to happen or is being allowed. They won't be allowed to actually shoot and kill Americans, but it's being allowed to happen or be pushed forward in the news to wake up the masses right before number 19, President Donald Trump comes back. The people need to be upset about the IRS, the FBI, the CIA. They need to understand why he's coming against them and why he's dismantling them. But look at this. We're hiring special agents now. This is at the IRSjobs.com website. Who are we? We are criminal investigators, or CIs. This is a law enforcement branch of the IRS. And then they show military personnel, or CI agents, dressed in police garb, okay, with guns and vests. Okay, we are here. Our mission is to serve the American public by investigating potential criminal activity and criminal violations of the Internal Revenue Code and related crimes or financial crimes in a manner that fosters confidence in the tax system and compliance with the law. What tax system? Okay, because it's unlawful, and in compliance to what laws? Because the IRS is a three-letter corporate entity that is not a part of our Constitution or of our republic. You have papers, you have a D&B number. You're not supposed to be lawfully operating on this land of great, in America, this great country. In fact, aren't you registered in Puerto Rico? So why is it that you think that you have the right to hire 87,000 agents, or even just one, to shoot and kill Americans? We will not allow it. We do not tolerate it. We do not sanction it, and we do not comply. So you and all your cohorts can just go lay down and rest in peace. Family, all of this is coming out right now because, again, people need to wake up. Now, this has just been released, as well as the news that was released and reported on August the 8th, 2022, the Lionsgate portal opening, the time of high manifestation and mane shaking, the time you're supposed to roar like a lion because 8 represents abundance and prosperity, the time when President Trump will make a great announcement during the whole portal, the portal opening, and he has been in codes, like at his rallies, you saw the placards or the boards up that said, Trump's rally. For more information, text 88-2022. And so that was a hint that something huge would happen on 8-8-2022. As a matter of fact, as an aside, if you put Trump in the gematria calculator, it will come up with the number 88. Okay, remember 8 represents prosperity, abundance, roaring like a lion. Family, it's all a movie, it's all drama. So this FBI raid that was that was done at Mar-a-Lago, or President Trump's home, is very unique in that it has never ever happened to a president before. It never happened to an old president, a sitting president, somebody that's running for president, ever. But the news just came out that the FBI had a spy in President Trump's home illegally snooping around the home right before the raid. Now, this is very interesting because President Trump is about to clap back on them. He made an announcement from his social media account. So if you're not a part of Truth Social, please get in on it. You can download it on your phone, whether you have an Android or an iPhone, and you can download it on your computer now. But he made an announcement from his home that the information that they stole from his home, they raided from his home, those files will actually implicate the same people who raided his home, just as I predicted. The man is a genius. You must understand the art of war and the laws of power. One of the laws of power says that you're supposed to create an image of yourself, even an unforgettable, and court scandal. Make yourself seem larger than life so that you outshine all of those around you. Make people underestimate you. Act like a fool when you're really smart. Act like you're dumb when you're really wise. And then bam! When nobody expects it, squash your enemy immediately and emphatically. These are parts of the book, The Laws of Power. This is an art of war strategy. It's not Trump's fault that people don't understand military operations. It's not his fault that you don't understand 5D chess or the laws of power or the art of war. Great book by Sun Tzu, as a matter of fact. All your top economists and business people and military strategists know about these books. So family, Please be encouraged and know that this is all over. I know it seems like it's horrendous. I know it's so much going on with the IRS hiring 87,000 agents or CIs that were supposed to, come after people who commit crimes against the IRS. But again, the IRS is an unlawful institution. They're going to be taken down. That's why House Resolution 24 came on board to monitor the Federal Reserve System. House Resolution 25 came on to monitor the IRS because President Trump's whole mission was to dismantle all those unlawful agencies that have nothing to do with our republic, okay? So stay encouraged. Remember, he's the one who put the duties of the Federal Reserve underneath the United States Treasury Department, because only the United States Treasury Department can deal with money and monetary issues and not these three-letter organizations. Family, before I go, let me tell you that the entire Japanese government just resigned. The entire administration. Could this be part of Nasara and Jasara, which is to bring us to world peace? Is to bring us to a peace, a global jubilee, a global debt jubilee. Is to get rid of all those three-letter organizations. Is to get rid of all of the Federal Reserve and all those entities that sought to enslave us and that did us harm. I believe that the Japanese government stepping down is a huge in the right direction. We will see. Keep your vibrations high. I think I've covered everything. I'm going over my notes. I just want to encourage you, family, to please get in it while you can on the precious metals boom, because the banks are buying up gold, countries are buying up gold and silver, and now billionaires are buying it up. And so the billionaire that contacted Mr. Andy Schectman wanted us to know that she was buying it up and wanted us to know that some of her estates were being settled, and after that, she would buy up more. What will happen if her relatives buy up more? What will happen? I hope they don't buy all of it, but while you can, get in on it. So yes, I think I've covered all of the news. I just want to encourage you, family, that things are heating up. For the bad, it looks, but remember, we look for opportunities here. It is working out for our good. It's huge that the CCP is denouncing the Democratic Party, just like Cuomo. Remember, Cuomo denounced the Democratic Party. And it's also huge that I announced the other day that 400 million people defected from the Chinese Communist Party. So we're living in great times. It's a great time to be alive. We made an agreement to come here to help with the liberation. That's why we keep our vibrations high, and we came here to experience the liberation. Family, President Donald Trump will return. He said it himself on his Truth social media. We already knew this would happen. And people keep saying, he's not the savior. He's not the savior. You need to stop giving this white man credit. Would you stop it already? I will give credit to whom credit's due. I don't care what your skin complexion look like. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care if you're an American, if you're a part of the international community. I don't care if you're a human, animal, or an extraterrestrial. Even if you're the creator, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, and we're all in this together. We're so happy and honored that whomever you are, the military, Nasara, White Knights, White Hats, President Donald Trump, Xi, Putin, all of you, Ngawa, all of you, thank you. Thank you. Kim Jong-un, who made an agreement with President Trump, the only president that had the kahunas to go to North Korea. Thank you all. The Moors behind the scene, the dynasties, the Chinese elders, the Philippine elders, the indigenous elders, anybody who's helping us, thank you. We appreciate you and we celebrate you, and we're excited and honored that you're helping us. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I have served to raise your vibrations and encourage you to stick together and remain hopeful. We were enslaved together. We will be liberated together. Remember this: where we go one, we go all. Peace. I love you. Mwah. Make it a great evening.